According to Descendant Theory, formatting can target a particular element based on its position relative to other elements. To illustrate, let's look at descendant.html. In this file, we have 5 different h1 elements. Here's the code behind that. Here are the 5 different elements, and depending on where they are relative to other elements, that's what's going to determine the styling for that particular h1. So let's start with this right here, the one that's in blue. That would be this h1, I stand alone. This h1 is not inside anything except the body tag. So it's going to go with this h1 where it tells it to use the font family Verdana and to make it blue. For the next h1, I'm in a div tag. It's inside a div tag. Since this h1 is inside a div, it's going to go with this styling right here where the font family is impact and the color is red. So one way to read a selector like this is to go right to left. We are saying we are targeting any h1s that are inside a div to use this CSS styling. For the next h1, that is also inside a div, except that this div has a class applied to it. It has the class product applied to it. And we happen to have a CSS rule that tells it how to style it if we have an h1, so we're going right to left. We have a h1 that we're targeting that's inside a div with the product or with the class product applied to it. And we know it's a class because it has a dot. In this case, if it's an h1 that meets these specs, then it needs to be a font family of Times, right here, with the color green. And it's the same concept for the next div. It's an h1 inside a div, except it has a different class, product2. For this product2, the font family is cursive, so we're seeing a cursive type font, and the color is black. And then finally, we have another h1 element inside a div, except it has an ID of product3 applied to it. So reading right to left, we have an h1 that we're targeting that's inside a div with the ID product3 applied to it. And we know we're talking about IDs because we have a hashtag there, a pound sign. And for this, it needs to be fantasy for the font, fantasy type font with the color purple.